and welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I'm Christine, and today I'm going to be doing a reading using the Before Tarot, the After Tarot, and the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. So I have just completed a review of the Before and After Tarot decks. If you are interested in seeing the whole deck card by card in comparison to one another and to the Rider-Waite-Smith, I will put a link to that review in the description box below. So what we're going to do today is a spread from Corinne Kenner's book, Forethought, and it is called a Sands of Time spread, and we're going to use each one of these decks in different parts of the spread. So a lot of times when tarot readers are doing a particular spread and they put out clarifying cards, they'll use different decks, but we're going to use a different deck for each piece of this spread, so it's going to be just a little different than usual. So let's go ahead and find out what's going on in the present moment. And for the present moment, I'm going to use the Rider-Waite-Smith. So Pamela Coleman Smith's original drawings. What is our issue in the present moment? All right, and we're going to go with the Chariot. The Chariot's going to go in the center of the board here. And the Chariot is talking about moving forward. So how are we moving? Where are we moving from? Where are we going to? And that's what this spread is going to lay out for us. Okay, so second layer, let's look at the past. So we're going to go to the Before Tarot. And I've already shuffled up these cards pretty well, but let's give them a little bit more of a massage. Okay, all right, let's see. We've got a couple of 10s here, which I find very interesting. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is card 10, and then we've got 10 of Swords. So, looking in the past, looking at the before. So, these two are going to go down in the positions of recent past. And we're going to have our little soldier marching towards the wheel on the board here. So, recent past. Let's go into the further past. Set the afters there. Side. So distant past. Where are we going from here? How did we get here? Two of Cups. A planned meeting. Queen of Swords. Yeah. Things were approaching. Five of Pentacles. Okay. All right, and where's all this going to? Let's get everything laid out, and then I'll switch cameras, and we can analyze this in greater detail. All right, where's this going? Okay. We've got a Two of Swords in the after. Near future. One more for the near future. Do this. Two of Wands. Okay. Two of Swords, Two of Wands. We got a couple 10s. We got a few 2s going on here. Things coming together, moving apart. Okay. All right. Further into the future, distant future. This card's calling to me. Again, a 10 of Swords. And 9 of Cups. And 5 of Swords. Okay. So let's switch cameras and really get into this. Alrighty. So beginning with where we are here in the present moment. Things are moving clearly. So here in the past, where we have come from. In the distant past, we're looking at Two of Cups, Queen of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. So this would indicate that there was an idea of a partnership, of a relationship, of a friendship. Could be personal, could be business. And when it was time to make some critical decisions, things just didn't go well. It was very absent. Whoever you were going to be in partnership with wasn't there when you had decided to take action, when you had come through with the logical choice here. It didn't add up. Something didn't come through. So what precipitated from that was having to move on to an unknown. So we have the Wheel of Fortune here. It's before the Sphinx is settled in. It's before Seth or the any of the other creatures on the wheel had made it. The sun, we have the moon. So we went into the unknown. You went into the unknown. This plan didn't work, so you set off into the unknown. And here you are in motion. Where is this going? So what's interesting is now when we go into the future, the near future, is we have a couple of different ideas of how a partnership should be or should look, or what you even need from a partnership. And perhaps that was part of the vagary of this. It's by the time you decided what you needed, you decided this wasn't going to be what was right for the situation or for you. In whether it was business or personal. But other opportunities present themselves. Now, there's a couple of different opportunities that are showing up here. One is something that could be intellectual tension here. We've got these two warriors that have kind of faced off with the two swords. Are they sparring? Are they working together? Are they training in such a way that they're going to make each other better through this intellectual combat? Possibilities. Here we are with a Two of Wands. Now, this is a little bit more collaborative. We have our guy who's got the world here, and he's sharing it with the lady who has come up. So we've got the Lord and the Lady there, and they are both examining the possibilities that are in this world. So, this is a more collaborative, a more sharing. So, could this both be the same relationship? Yeah, it could. It could be two people who are very good at sharpening, keeping each other sharp. But they could also have an element of being able to collaborate together, and that is where their strength is. In that this collaboration, it's not some sort of what they call toxic positivity where everything's, oh yes, that's great. It's like, no, hey, let's really think about this logically and see what we can come up with that we can make work. Because if we're looking at this from the logic, and then this is, Two of Wands are more passionate ideas and just the fire, the motivation, whereas this is more of the logic. So if you can find something, if you're a part of a relationship that has both of those elements, it's actually very, very productive. So this is something that you are moving towards, something very productive. Some teams, this was a dysfunctional team back here. This didn't work. This is a highly functioning team right here. And let's go into the distant future. Looking at it like a little pyramid here. We have our sharpening, our training, our sparring event here. And noticing not so much that we have our deceased figure here in the middle, but that we have two people here that are able to collect this fallout of war, that are able to collect this. In essence, it's this guy here who has been, befallen an ambush. Are these guys the ambushers? Are they his allies? We do not know. And that would be rather up to you to decide. Are you one of these people who is cleaning up the wreckage of the old, and then able to make it new. So if you think about the Nine of Cups here being the wishing card, and in the Pamela Coleman Smith original, it's just this man sitting here with his 9 cups. But now a servant has brought him a big dinner. You know, got a roast chicken and looks like some potatoes there. I mean, oh, that looks like a good dinner. So what this element of the relationship enables you to do is to scoop up the remains of something that didn't work and move into everything that you wanted to have working. Move into a place of manifestation where these, you know, where this back down here was bereft of any kind of productivity. This is highly productive. You know, being in this state of, I'll call it creative tension, gets you into a place of being able to produce and do so quite magnificently. So let's make another little pyramid here, looking at this element of the relationship. Once again, that same productivity leading to a sense of triumph. So Five of Swords can be quite a difficult card. However, I'm looking at this Five of Swords in context with a Nine of Cups and a Two of Wands, which are very positive cards. So I'm going to take more of a positive look at this. Five of Swords usually is indicative of humiliation or defeat, or being a bad winner, or being a bad loser, or that kind of emotional, interior mental construct. But when we're looking at some productive passion here, something that's very constructive, and we're looking at Nine of Cups, that is a card that's, you know, kind of talking about bringing all your desires and fruitions into manifestation, then I think we can kind of look at the Five of Swords as being perhaps that success is your revenge. Perhaps success from maybe this other piece down here that didn't work, and you decided to try your luck somewhere else, and the wheel turned in your favor, to where here with the twos, and it's all about these twos. When we begin with this Two of Cups, which was a partnership or relationship that just didn't meet expectations. It didn't come up to scratch. And so, yeah, you know, you're walking into the unknown, or you walked into the unknown, past tense. You've done this already. This is your past. And you took some chances and moved on, which is brilliant. Brilliant. You got to keep moving forward. You move on. Again, we've got, you know, these two creatures, these two sphinxes that can be working as a team under the direction of the charioteer. And perhaps they were indifferent or unknown to each other, you know, prior to the advent of this pairing. But it becomes very, very highly functioning because it's got the elements of having common shared goals, and that element of making each other better, which is just beautiful. I you know, in any kind of relationship, be it business or personal, that would be one thing I would want for other people. And the one thing that I found in my own personal relationships that have been highly successful, those that have been successful, is that you have shared goals, shared dreams, shared passions, and you make each other better. You know when to push each other, and you know when to not push each other. Some people push, and then it becomes detrimental to a relationship. If you know when to push and when to share, that's perfect. And you can even see that in successful television programs. If you're watching talk show hosts work with like co-hosts and if you go in the way back of the Regis and Kathy Lee days, or the Kelly and Michael days, or whatever, they knew when to push each other, and they knew when to share and move forward together. So those were good good examples, I think, just in the public view of just watching a good talk show host and co-host work together. That's what's happening there. And like I said, this could be a personal relationship, or this could be a business relationship. Knowing when to push and when to pull back. When you're going together, when you gotta, give each other a nudge. And it's back and forth. It's both people participating. It's not just one person. I'm getting the feeling down here that it was just one person. One person was really interested. The solitary Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is a rather solitary card. She's kind of a do-it-herselfer. She's someone who's comfortable going it alone. This offer just was tentative. Let's see if it works. And it just didn't. It did not pan out. And moving on was the right choice, because you're moving into a place where you're going to find that sense of balance and just enough challenge. A place of and what's central to this is each of these participants in this have to be able to respect each other and respect each other's opinions, respect each other's thoughts, respect each other's goals and ideas. So that's very key to sharing, and it's very two-way. You can't just have one person doing the respecting and one person doing the taking. It's very, very balanced. Two. And this ending has ended. The ending has ended. You get what I'm saying here? This point of feeling betrayed or bereft or ambushed by this circumstance down here, which is off screen. These guys, this circumstance, the feeling of being betrayed is over. It's over. That's done with. That's done with, because you're moving into a place where this next partnership, this next relationship is going to be pretty much everything you wish for. And it's going to bring you a great deal of success. At least enough success to where you feel vindicated for having made the effort. So there's some vindication here. There's some moving forward, definitely forward movement here at the central. And that's great. That's great. You cannot stagnate. And sometimes you do. You just have to take your chances. What goes down comes up. What's up goes down. And since this was kind of a downer here, it stands to reason that if you've learned the lessons of what this taught you, which it looks like you have, then you're going to get an upturn. And rather have this tentative thing, you have people who are willing to engage with you. Look at this guy. These two folks are not particularly engaged with one another. They're thinking about it, but they're not really ready to commit there. This is solid commitment here. People making the effort. People who want to be part of this. Okay? All right. So I'm liking the way this is looking. I'm liking the way things are turning up. One thing I'm going to be a little bit cautious about this up here is a little bit of the be careful what you wish for. So, cleaning up the mess. Yeah, having your day in the sun. But also kind of think of try to think of the unintended consequences of some of this. I wouldn't get too far into trying to rub anybody's nose in, oh, I found something better than what you had on offer. Yeah. Avoid that. Let's Let's see. I want to see something about this Five of Swords. Because like I said, Five of Swords is a rather difficult card. Let's look here. Eight of Cups. Knight of Wands. So, Eight of Cups. This guy has moved on from the Eight of Cups. But somebody's going to have to clean up the cups. Somebody will always come after. And the Knight of Wands is there's always going to be more movement, more to go on to. So I wouldn't get too stuck right here. Don't get too stuck on, hey, I succeeded, now I can camp out. Don't camp out there. You gotta keep moving forward. And also realize that this has some fallout that other people are having to deal with as well. So don't get too hooked up on having your final word. Don't get too hooked up on that. Just enjoy this here. Enjoy this. Be grateful for it. Have fun. And realize that, yeah, there's still some stuff to be cleaned up. Don't be above cleaning up your own messes. Be they emotional or physical, literal, logical, mental. Everybody's got something they've got to deal with. So just realize that dealing with it is part of your moving on process. Yeah, don't camp out in Revenge City here. Continue to move forward. And realize that as you're moving forward, there's always something left behind. Make sure that what you leave behind is not an arduous mess of emotional baggage. Just clean up and be free. Be free, because this is a good direction. This is a good direction. And you're definitely, there's a lot of movement going on here with the Knight of Wands and the Chariot. Moving, moving, moving. That's good. That's good. Taking your chances, that's good. It's going to turn out. But be the bigger person at the same time. Be the bigger person. You don't have to. And I would even go so far as to caution that if you're eager to rub your success in someone else's face, that might damage this relationship over here too, because they might not want to be a part of that. You know, maybe. Just keep that partnership in mind, that it's not all about you. Somebody else is in your partnership too. And you will get what you're looking for. You'll get what you're looking for. So keep moving forward. Keep moving forward in the utmost and highest possible way that you can. All right. All right. This has been very, very interesting. I wish you luck. I wish you success. Keep moving forward. That's one of my favorite things to keep saying on these videos. Keep moving forward. You ever saw the movie Meet the Robinsons? It'll make sense. Keep moving forward. And it looks like you do. Keep moving forward. But do so with a little heart. Keep your heart engaged. Okay. All right, that is what I have got for you today. Keep your heart engaged, because that's where your joy is going to be. This is where happiness is. It didn't work out so much down here, but it will work out. You know, from the 2 to the 9, that's a huge leap in what this new partnership is going to bring to you. All right. Best wishes to you. Good luck and bye for now.